a little bit of the intro of Feel So Good, which is a nice little novelty song from the 20s stroke 30s. And I did it just to show you this tuning that I play in this tenor banjo in. When I first started learning to play the tenor banjo, I was already playing the plectrum banjo, or actually 5-string banjo without the 5th string, and I figured out that if I tuned the tenor banjo like an ordinary banjo but 3 semitones higher, it would save me a lot of work playing in the local jazz band that I was playing in. So playing in B flat and F and so on. Anyway, what I'm going to do now actually is retune it again. I'm going to raise the first string from D to E, to so-called Chicago tuning. For those of you not familiar with it, that's like the first 4 strings of a guitar. D, G, B, D, sorry, E. And the reason for this is because I can't do anything that I used to be able to do as a young whippersnapper with this left hand now. Especially can't make 4-fret chord shapes to play the tenor banjo with any alacrity. So with this tuning we reduce everything to 2 or 3 fret chord shapes. It makes life a lot easier. It doesn't have the same cutting power as a tenor tuning, but it's not bad. It's better than nothing, I tell you. So I'll finish off with a little tune just to show you the benefit of this tuning. But first of all, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this banjo, what's and all. This is the latest offering on eBay. I should have said this in the first place. And it's a Windsor Popular Model 3. Windsor, AO Windsor. Oh, it says the Windsor, and on the perch pole it's got a little plaque that says the Windsor Popular. AO Windsor maker, AO Windsor. I think that was Arthur Octavius Windsor, something highfalutin like that. And my opinion, the number 3 is one of his cheaper banjos. The popular number 1 had a bit more of a fancy profile peg head, and it had a little bit of fancy pearl, but I believe that the rim was pretty much the same apart from having a drilled bezel. And in my opinion, the cheaper range of Windsors beat the cheaper range of Clifford Essex, hands down. But there you are, it's personal taste. I think that the Clifford Essex were pretty crude on their cheaper models, but these had a modicum of refinement, even though they were made down to a price. And while I'm in this neck of the woods here, I will show you one of the Windsor design coups as far as I'm concerned, and that is they bolted the tailpiece on with 2 bolts onto the top bezel there, and as you see, this quite aesthetically shaped lyre tailpiece has individual loops for the strings, and the benefit of it is that a traditional banjo tailpiece, a sort of fishtail shaped thing hanging on 1 bolt, would alter the angle as you tuned each individual string up. It would re-alter the other strings, whereas this being bolted rigid, it's not going to budge when you can tune any of the strings up individually and they remain where you put them, which I think is a master stroke. But there you go. It swings and roundabouts. The rest of it's very plain, very simple. I'll have another look at the back while we're on there. I've made a couple of new wedge plates for it. The business part of it is maple, and that's where the tone and the volume comes from. It's covered with a nickel brass sheathing, which gives it a bit of ring on the top. But for some inexplicable reason, this particular banjo's had a bit of a hard life, so I'm going to show you the worst aspect of it, because you can't see a lot in photographs, and that is it's a bit battle scarred up in the region east of the neck, as I said in the description. And as I go around, you will see that it gets better right round the bottom where you'd think it would get a bit of hammer, and then as we get up to the top it gets a little bit scratched again. So, and that is the worst aspect of it there, that area east of the neck, as you see. So that's the worst aspect of it. It also has a little bit there on the peg head where the finish is worn off, and I don't know why that's received a battering. While we're in that neck of the woods, we see the so-called non-slip pegs, which aren't bad if you adjust them so as they're not too tight or too slack. Brass frets. It's got a virtually unworn fingerboard. I don't know how come it doesn't, because it's obviously had a bit of hammer, the rest of it. So why the fingerboard isn't that worn, I know not. Anyway, the action's pretty good. You can get the action pretty good when you've got a good straight neck. Very ordinary plain Jane maple bridge there. Right, what we've done is maximise the tone and the volume here by the addition of a new Remo plastic head, which you can get up to a cracking tension, and you know, it doesn't get any louder or better tone than that. Quite a variance in tone as well. When I say maximises the tone, whatever kind of tone you want, it's going to make better. It's as simple as that. Anyway, enough of this chatting. Let's see what we can do in Chicago tuning. Let's see if my old fingers will carry me through or let me down yet again. This is a little tune from Roy James, a solo with the Acker Bilk band, his so-called Paramount Jazz Band. God bless Acker, wherever he may be. And Roy James, of course. It was my favourite rave when I was just a youngster. Anyway, this little tune is called House Rent Stomp, and if you like the sound of it on this banjo, you might look it up on eBay and make me a bid. Okay. Bye now. Thanks for looking. Bye now.